Hi, everybody. I am coming to you completely unfiltered, crappy web camera and all from my new home. And I wanted to talk with you about the journey of processing this transition. Um, and please excuse me if you can hear the background noise. Um, anyways, so in April, my husband and I moved across the country from from Florida to Oregon, and it was the first time I'd ever been more than 30 minutes away from my parents. Um, I've never been this far from home pretty much ever. Um, and it was my first time doing something this huge as an adult. I know that there are other people my age who have done things like go to different countries by themselves. Um, Many have moved to different states by themselves, just them and their pets. I've never done that before. Um, and it was exciting, exhilarating, but also very difficult. Um, I went through a whirlwind of emotions, having to process the fact that I would be 2,000 miles away from two of my best friends. I would be 2,000 miles away from my mom and my dad. I would be 2,000 miles away from my grandmother, who I felt like I was really just getting to know well as an adult. Um, in that whole process, you end up discovering that the people that you care about know you a lot better than you think that they do as you're going through transition. Um, and I felt a little lost in the first months of us moving here. I was excited to be able to explore a new city. We didn't have a home lined up, so we were living in a hotel for about 2 months, and I did my best, and I still do my best to call my parents every day, and I check in on my best friends, if not once a week, once or twice every 2 weeks, via text message or on Discord, just to make sure that they're doing okay. And when I tell you I went through a whirlwind of emotions, there were times where I would just sit and I would cry, um, just because it was so hard dealing with being away from them. Um, Really strange. Compound that with the fact that we didn't have a home lined up. I felt displaced. My husband felt displaced. And in many ways, it made us closer, but in other ways, it made us realize that tiny house life is not really for us. Constantly being around the same person, not having any other place to go, just to process, be quiet. Um, Learning that you have misophonia in the middle of all of this because you need silence desperately. It's a lot. Um, and a few of the ways that I processed through that was in finding ways to connect with the people that I'd left behind. One of those ways was to begin writing letters, um, and it's something that I still do. I've started collecting vintage postcards, vintage letter kits, so that I can write letters and send them back home. I feel like in the process of writing a letter, you're better able to say the things that you can't necessarily say, or you're too shy to say over the phone, or you don't think about when you're sending a text. Um, so I write letters. And I write letters a couple of times a month, send them back home. I've sent, oh, a ton of letters to my mom. I've sent cards to my dad. I've sent them to my grandmother. I have a few more that I'm in the process of writing. Um, and I think that it's something that's made my relationship with my parents a lot better because, as a result. Something else that I've started doing is I've taken up crocheting again as a way to calm my mind. Sometimes the act of doing something with your hands, it has a way of quieting your senses so that you're better able to focus in and gather your thoughts and your emotions. Um, Also, during this transition, you might discover that the things that you really, really used to love, they don't really do it for you the same way that they used to. You might find that you don't have the energy to dedicate to the things that you loved the way that you used to dedicate time and energy to it. I don't think I've painted since we moved, actually. I've painted walls in the house, but no abstracts. And that's really something that I've done a lot. You can actually see one of my pieces in the background. And I am still in transition, but there are things that are gradually coming back. My love of cooking, you can actually see the meals that I've made since being here and since before being here on my Instagram, April F Cooks. Uh, but that's something that took time. I made one meal as soon as we ended up moving into our condo. And then after that, it was, I want to say maybe 6, 7 months where I didn't cook anything, just because I didn't have the energy to. I felt a bit at loose ends. I never realized how much moving actually takes out of you. And then when you combine that with uh, all of these first time being in a new city long term, um, first time having to make friends in a new city as an adult, first time having to learn a new city in, oh gosh, a number of years, first time having to find your favorite places in that new city. It becomes a process not only of learning this new place but also learning this new person that you're going to be in this new place. You evolve, you change. um, I don't know if this is helping anyone, but um, I guess it's been a lesson in giving myself grace, understanding that not everything is going to be perfect, not everything is going to be easy, not everything is going to automatically switch back to what things were, the ease of what they were. Um, anyway, that's all.